am I like? Hi guys. I've had a few people ask about the family tree, so I just thought I'd come and show you in Design Space how to do it. I know if you were having particular issues with slicing. What's important to remember in Design Space is that you can only slice 2 objects at a time. So if an item's grouped, it won't slice. A word, for example, say hello. Design Space will recognize that as 5 letters and not 1 word. So what you need to first do with some things is weld them first to create one item, so then you can slice it from the other item. So I've just uploaded the family tree. You use the upload down here and then upload image. So I've also ungrouped this family tree as well. And what I'm going to do first is, I'm just going to move the trees come apart. 2 minutes. My internet's a bit slow, guys, so it's taking us a bit of time to catch up with there. So these 2 circles, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to duplicate that bottom one. What I would suggest you do is, I'm just going to center them. I don't want to center that. This is the trouble with it'll grab one of the other ones. So I'm just going to center it. I'm just going to group it for now. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come around and duplicate this a few times and kind of just get a size idea of what I need for the family tree. This will vary depending on how many names you're adding. You may need to make it smaller. You may need to make it bigger if you haven't got as many names. It's just going to depend. But kind of just play around until you're happy with the position. What I would do is, for example, if you're making a family tree for 3, once you're happy with the position of the 3, and before you start adding names, save it as a family tree for 3. And then next time when you open up Design Space and you know you need one for 5, start a new project and do one for 5. Or kind of save this as a template ready to start editing for however many you need to adjust, and then kind of save it as you go through for however many names you need in it. So I'm just going to leave that. I'm just going to say I'm happy with that for now. Then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come and I'm just going to slice this one. So I've kind of got the outer rim of the circle. So I can get rid of that and get rid of that one. So I've got this ring now that would kind of create a solid outline around the edge of the design. And I still haven't done this right. I'm going to backtrack a minute, guys. I need the outer edge of the circle. So just ignore that bit. So I don't need to slice it just yet. I'm ready for my bed, guys, honestly. So if I just ungroup this, what you're going to need is the bigger circle of the 2. I'm just going to bring it over to here, and I'm just going to keep that highlighted and highlight the trace. I'm just going to click on it and use the layer panel. Just double check that I've only got 2 things highlighted. It'll go dark grey, and then I'll get the slice option down here. It does take a bit time for it to catch up. It is a bit laggy, especially with itself, and kind of, I mean, you could use your layer panel and just delete all the bits down that layer panel that you don't want. So what I would probably do is I just pop that back in there. I'm just going to send it to the back. If I'm just going to duplicate one of these, because you will need the outer rim, because inside that's not kind of neat and tidy really. So if I come over here and slice these 2, this is why I would kind of do it once you're kind of happy with the layout for a particular number of names, save it. It's going to save you the top job of coming back every 5 minutes and doing it. I just ungroup you. I'm just going to delete these because I'm just going to duplicate them as I go. So you will need to duplicate this a couple of times depending on how many you need. To use the larger circle, the outer circle, as the centre for. If you use that ring piece and just kind of delete it, then you're going to be left with the centre of it, and then you're going to have to contour it, and it's just too much faff. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to save myself a bit of time here, and I am just going to slice all these out in one go. So before is I'll show you, it's not going to, I'm not going to get the slice option here, because I've got 5. So I'm just going to weld these first to make them as one. I'm just cheating, saving myself some time. And then I'm just going to click the tree, because now you can tell they become one item in your layers panel. It'll show kind of them as a little cluster, and just slice them out together. As I said, it is a bit laggy, it is a bit slow, unfortunately. And then I'm just going to come down here and delete all them bits. I'm just clicking on the layer panel here, guys, to get rid of them bits. They're not needed, or you can just delete them all together. Right, okay. The little one's up, sorry. Quickly get this done. And then what you just need to do is just come back. You might need to zoom in a bit on this bit just to make sure that you've kind of got them overlapping a bit. And you've got them lined up. I will zoom in a minute once I've got them roughly positioned. When it comes to welding, you can weld as many number as you want. Welding's not the issue here. So once I've zoomed in, you can kind of just position them a little bit better. You could offset it, and it would remove the need to make that thicker if you are struggling to line it up. So all I would do is I would just come and just offset it. It doesn't need to be by much, just by a tiny little bit. Certainly not by that much. This is where I prefer Inkscape for offsetting, because I have more control over it. So not even 0.5, you need lower than that. That one's big. I've got that about 0.009. You can see it's just created a bit of a thicker band there. That will just make it a bit easier for lining up. I will do an Inkscape tutorial on this, because it would be you'll be able to achieve the results much quicker. Where's that hidden one? That one. I'm just going to duplicate this, and then just the red ones, of course, you can just weld into place if you're happy with that. But if you're kind of not so confident with it, just as I said, just offset it a little bit first. And then all I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring this in and just then I'm just going to click them all. You can weld kind of multiple items. It's not as fussy as slice. I'm just going to weld them into place. There you go. I hope you can see. If there's a little bit in here that you feel are going to be a bit small, depending on the size that you're cutting it, then you can just come in and contour these bits out, these kind of little bits here, if you think it was going to be too much of a struggle. This is going to depend on size and the vinyl you're using. Personally, I prefer Oracle Matte 651. I find it much easier for intricate details like this family tree. But I know everybody has their own personal preferences. And again, it's going to depend on what size you're going to need that tree. It's perfect for frames and cushions. So get busy designing. I would love to see your makes, guys. Thanks for watching. See you later.